Hello, everyone. Thanks for being here on our live Q&A series from Studio Suite. We decided to create this series so we can engage a little bit more with our customers and provide some additional tools for our customers relating to many of our most popular modules in Studio Suite. So this is a good opportunity for you if you're an existing user or if you're a new client looking into Studio Suite. This will give you a better overview and a better view of what are some of the possibilities in Studio Suite. So let me just share over here my screen real quick. So just to tell you a little bit more about Studio Suite, Studio Suite is a market-leading resource management software, and many people who use it are TV, film, music production, post-production facilities around the world, and they use Studio Suite to help manage their resources. Studio Suite can be accessed via a web browser, desktop, or mobile application, and these are some of the most popular modules that we have. Today, we're going to be talking a little bit about project management. We also have some built-in integrations that I also like to mention. One of the most popular ones that we have are Google Drive and QuickBooks integration, and a lot of people nowadays are also using Slack, so that's always convenient. Today, we were supposed to have Nick Medira on this webcast, but I think he couldn't make it, so we'll see if we can have him participate on the next one. But like I mentioned a little bit earlier, today we're going to be talking about project management and how to make sure that your projects are profitable. So we can take a look at some of the tools that Studio Suite offers so you can track your Q&A and some of those aspects. And then our next topic for next week is going to be how to stay ahead of tasks to improve your productivity. So, all right, my friends, with that said, let's go ahead and take a look at Studio Suite now. And if you have any questions, please go ahead and post them. I know we didn't give a lot of notice for this one, so it's all right. We're just getting this series going. So, but if you're out there, please post your questions and we'll try to answer those towards the end. Okay, so now you can see our home screen in Studio Suite. This is what you use to keep organized and what you can use to see what events are happening today, your projects. These line items, which are pretty much events relating to your projects right here on the left side. We can also see tasks that have been assigned to us or that we have assigned to ourselves, and some follow-ups that need to be done. Also, since we're talking about project management, there's this selector right here. So if you click on it, we can see these items right here kind of on a sequential order. So some of them are on quote status, some of them are awaiting approval. You can change these parameters right here to show information you want. So maybe if you just want to see anything that's canceled or awaiting approval, so you can switch through those. We have approved and in progress. If you click on any of these, it's going to take you to that particular project. So this is the projects module. Now, if we click back, then of course we're in the home screen. So this is a view that not a lot of people know of, but it's pretty handy. I really like this view. And to toggle back, we just use the selector and we can see the overview of today, for today. Right, so let's go ahead and take a look at our projects module. So these are some of the example projects that I have loaded over here on my demo. This is our list view. As you can see, we can also filter and choose which projects you want to see. So after you've been working with Studio Suite for a while, you're probably going to have like hundreds of projects. So it's really easy to filter. So you can decide if you want to show maybe your post-production projects, your recording projects, or any other category that you may have. You can have a long list of your own categories over here. So that's one way to do it. We can also search by status. So if we're just looking at anything that's in progress, we can do that. Or maybe we just want to look at things that are not billable, but you get the idea. And if we click on this little button over here, we can show all. The T right here stands for template. So any of these that you see with a check mark are going to be templates. And templates are, of course, a very useful way for you to speed up your workflow. So if you have projects that are repetitive and you do them over and over, then you can use those as templates for whenever you create a new project that's similar. So you don't have to look for all the line items. And this RET stands for retired. So if you have retired some of these projects, you can just check them off, just like that. Over here, we can see the invoice status, due dates. This is a variable field, so you can choose what information you want to show over here. All right, so if we were to click on any of these projects, we would go to the detailed view. So let's go ahead and do that. So here is this project example for Ozark episode 1. We can expand this. This is our shoot crew list. These are child items that were assigned to this category, shoot crew. So as you can see, we have the starting dates, starting times, and for example, if this project was scheduled to start on May 1st, and I wanted to change it to today, that's really easy. I don't have to change all of them manually. I can change all of them globally. So there we go. Now I'm going to change the end date as well. Just give you that example. You can also override information from here. So maybe our gaffer, we want our gaffer to get there a little bit earlier at 8 a.m. So we can do that. And we can even include some notes from here. We can change statuses, we can change the assignment. So a lot of flexibility over here. Also, if we want to notify him or remind him manually, the gaffer, we can do that by using this notifications icon. We can also send an email or print out this project right here. So once we're ready, we click on save. Let's say don't match. And here it is, our gaffer. We have him starting now at 8 a.m. Since that little window popped up, I want to show you what that does. So let's go ahead and take a look at this electrician right here. Say that we changed his time. Now he's starting at 7 a.m. and he's going from 7 a.m. 7:30 a.m. till 4 p.m. right? And now we do save. We're going to get this pop-up window over here asking us if we want to match the change that we did to everybody else. So we can either match the times or match the statuses. We can choose who do we want that change to apply to. So we can either deselect them or we can say select all. So if we say match, now it's going to change the start time, which is the change that we did, and it's going to change it to everybody. So let's do that. So these are all just things to save you a little bit of time. Let's see, what else do we have? We have also these confirmation statuses. Actually, these statuses, right? So maybe the loader isn't confirmed and he's on vacation, so we can do that. Let's say don't match. Oh, and on the previous example, you know, we changed the time of the electrician. Let's see. Let's just change it again. We selected match, but we didn't check any of these. So let's say match times. Okay, looks like I got stuck on this window. Let's see, how can I get out of it? Okay, there we go. So now all of these have been matched. Sorry about that little delay there. I had a pop-up window asking me to confirm, and it had popped on a different monitor that I wasn't looking at, so apologies for that. We also have these sets of actions. So let's see. What do we have over here? These are some of the ones that I've populated already. So maybe if this has to do with coloring, interviews, mixing, post-production, recording session or shoot, you can apply that set of action and it's going to help you filter through these set of actions eventually. And it's great for reporting, which we're going to talk a little bit about that towards the end. And of course, if I don't want to have to go ahead to each and every one of them, I can apply it to all of these line items really easy as well. So let's say that all of this is for a shoot. And here it is. We have also the rates associated with these people. We can override those, or we can already have those predetermined. So in this case, I'm going to show you how we would override one of those. So let's say that we want to charge now 250. There we go. And maybe our expense is 100. SudiSuit will do the math and it'll calculate our P&L. So that's a quick example project right here. Also, if we click on view totals, we're going to see a little bit more of that information. If we're offering any discounts, how much we're charging, how much taxes have been applied, and our total. We also have a job target, which is pretty interesting. So if you click here, you can establish the job target. So maybe you don't want to go over 10 grand. So you click it there, and now when we go right here to view totals, we're going to see that we are a little bit under, so we're good. So the target difference is 3,500. So it's not bad at all. We can still add a few more items right here. Our target was not to exceed 10,000, and we are at 6,500 right now. So there is the difference. Right, so you might be wondering what happens once I assign team members. Or for example, right here we have a gaffer. This is sort of generic. Now let's say that we wanted to assign somebody from our team. So we can go and do change to. We can pick somebody from here. So let's say that we're looking for a gaffer. Here we go. We have from the production crew, Sandy K. So let's pick Sandy. And let's see where we are right here. So now we have changed this gaffer to Sandy K. And we can change the rate if we want from here, of course. And you notice that whenever we make a change, whenever we override a rate, it changes to this light blue color right here. That's letting us know that there was a change made. If you hover over this little trash can icon, then you can see who made the change and what was the change made. So there is showing us that an admin logged in as admin did a change relating to the price, and it went from 0 to 250. So that's always good. We also can include notes. We have more notes over here. This can expand, of course, same as this guy right here. We have also default notes, so you can create your own right here. So you have to do a little bit less typing if there's a set of instructions or notes that you usually include in your projects. So that's pretty useful as well. There we go. So, yep, and there we go. Let's see, what else? We can have a PO number, of course, episode number, the language, due date. So let's move this one over to the 7th. And we also have an indicator over here letting us know that this has not been yet invoiced. So that's an overview of the projects module. I guess something I always like to show, and it's very important, is our view selector, which is right here. So right now, we're looking at actual charges. We can create new projects from a budget perspective or from an actual perspective. So if you want to build a quote or a proposal or a budget, then you can do that as well. And to change the view, we would go and select this one over here. So we have no items right here because this project was created from an actual perspective. With this selector, we can also take a look at any task information, tax information, expenses, or P&L. So if you want to take a quick look and take a look at your profit and loss, we would select that. We still have the same line items. The only difference is that it's now showing us what's our expense and how much we're charging the client, therefore giving us the profit and loss amount right here. There's also this field for market rates. So it's used mainly to show value to the client. So if you're offering a service to somebody and you can tell Studio Suite on the rates module that you are offering a $1,000 market rate product or service for only $800. So if we would have selected that, we would have seen that. And that's optional, of course, if you want to show that or not. All right, so once all of this is ready, you can actually go ahead and create a PDF out of this or print it. Really easy. So this is how it would look. And we can see right here that we're looking at the actual P&L report. That is because we were still looking at the actual P&L. We can change it back to actual charges. And if we decide to print this, then it would look something like this. Oh, we can decide to show prices or not. So I'm going to show prices. So now it looks more like a work order, right? And we have this title that changed right here. So again, we have the prices, the totals, and all of our line items for this project. And I guess where I was going a little bit earlier was if you want to, like you might be wondering, okay, I have my list of people that are participating in a project, so how do they get notified? Do I have to email all of them, letting them know that they've been assigned to a project, or how does that work? So in Studio Suite, we can create automatic notifications for this. So let me show you that real quick. For that, we go to Home. We go to Resources and Services. And I'm going to look, actually, let's look for that gaffer again. Let's see, let's take a look. Julio, we'll use my example. So this is my record right here, Julio, the studio manager. And this is really cool and important. So resource preferences. Right now, I have these two selected. So Studio Suite is going to check for conflicts just to make sure that I don't get double booked on a project or an assignment. It's going to autofill my start and end times. And there's a few other parameters that I can include over here. So the one that I wanted to show you was send email notifications. So if I have this selected right here, then anytime I'm booked to a new project, I'm going to get an automatic email notification. So you can have these selected, this parameter selected or deselected for any of your resources. Right here, we can also create child items, And that's useful if maybe whenever I work or reserve a studio, I want to use a particular room or a particular piece of gear. I can also add that over here. So maybe I always like to use a Neumann microphone in my recording sessions. So whenever they book me, they know that they gotta reserve and book this piece of equipment as well. So it's just a quick little example right there. Right, so let's go back to our projects module. Here we are, and it's showing us the episode that the project that we were working on. If we want to show the rest of the projects in a list view, we can click on Find All. There we go. And if we go to detail, it's going to take us to this particular project that we were working on. So here's the project. We went over how to change dates, how to change the times, statuses, some action sets, rates, how to overwrite the rates, and how to take a look at your P&L for a project. Right, so if we wanted to invoice this, it's super easy. We can just go to the scrolling wheel right here, and we can say select all for invoice. If you notice, some of them are not gonna be checked, and that's because they don't have a rate. So this camera assistant for motion control does not have a rate, so therefore it's not selected, and it's not gonna show up on the invoice. However, if you do want to show it in the invoice, you can always select it so that you can show that you're offering this camera assistant at no charge. And the same thing with some of these. Or maybe if you don't want to show in the invoice the sound boom, you can also remove it from there. So after you're happy with your list and with everything that you want to export to your invoice, then we can go ahead and click on select all for invoice and invoice selected items. There we go. Now Studio Suite is going to take us to our invoice module. Here we go. From here, we can easily export it to QuickBooks by just clicking this button after you've set up your QuickBooks plugin. So that was a pretty simple process. Now I wanted to show you a little bit more features that we have in our projects module. So in projects, you might have specific tasks for people. So you can either add them manually like this. So maybe call the director to confirm lunchtime, anything like that. We can assign a due date, and we can choose who to assign it to. So let's use myself as an example. So let's have the studio manager do that. Perfect, so now we have a new task for this project for Ozark episode 1. Now, if you have a lot of repetitive tasks, this would be kind of time consuming entering it manually. So you can also load information and task groups. So right here, we have a few examples. Let's take a look at this edit session. So if I go to load, now we have all of these tasks that are related to this group and category, the edit session. They come in as default as created, but you can change this, of course, to anything you want, approved, or maybe in progress, anything like that. From right here, you can send notifications about this new task. Also, so you can send those manually, or you can send those via email as well. If you click on that, we're going to see that. You can send it as an SMS or as an email. So there we go, and we would choose who to send it to. After that's good, we just click OK. You can also change these groups, of course. You can edit them and have as many line items as you want. And let's see, we also have over here some more groups and tasks, specific tasks. So that's really easy, and you can change the assignment like I showed you from here. So if we want to assign this one to Chrissy, there we go. It's that simple. Let's take a look at a different one. So maybe prep budget. Now we've added some more tasks. And this is how you would manage them. So you can easily just create a new task group and some task activities right here. If you have a team that usually takes care of these tasks, you can also predetermine that. It's a little bit on tasks and groups, also on notes. This is what I was showing you a little bit earlier, how you can assign notes and create them. So we have a specific section for that. Talent. This is if you want to keep track of your talent in a separate page from the detailed view. So you can also have your talent right here. So maybe if we're on our recording session or something like that and we need session players, here we go. So this person's going to be the lead player, for example. And we can choose somebody from here as well. There we go. We also have call sheets. So we can create a call sheet for this one really quick. Not sure why this isn't updating. Let's see. Oh, there we go. I forgot to select the date. So now that we have the date, it's gonna go ahead and create this call sheet for us. And from here, you can assign a location. So let's say that we're doing this at Balboa Park, and you can add people to this call sheet. Here we have a PA, for example, and you can also search right here. So maybe if we need a DOP, there we go, Director of Photography. And then you would be able to create a print out of this, so you can email it or print it out, yeah, for somebody. So that was call sheets. We also have the setup info area. Right here in setup, we have plugins. So this is pretty useful for those of you maybe working in audio. And if you have a recording session or anything like that, you can say, guitar player such and such, or guitar track number one. The microphone, the amplifier is being mic'd with this amount of microphones. These are the microphones used. And on our panel, we are using maybe insert number one, bus number 10, etc. And here's the talent. It's a lot of useful information for that. For people working in video, films, and graphics, this could be also useful to keep your project organized. So any specific camera or lenses that you're using for this project, you can include here. And we also have these user fields, which you can predetermine to just jot down useful information relating to this project. We also have client info right here. So let's say that we're building this project for Netflix. So we have the client and people involved. We have some shipping information. So maybe we want to say ship to Netflix headquarters. We also have financial information for this client. We can see that this project right here, there's a balance due and it's still open. So we have invoiced, but it hasn't closed yet. It's still open. If you have any media assets that pertain to this project, so maybe some hard drives or anything like that, you can also include them over here. So you can create a new asset right here. And this is going to be, I don't know, hard drive. You can include a barcode and other useful information there. And that's going to open your titles where you can add titles. And it takes you over to the library module. So that's media assets. Here's a new asset that we created for this particular project. We also have attachments where you can bring in files from a variety of sources. So some of those places are Google Drive, Box, Dropbox. We can also create a path to a folder from your local machine, or we can attach a file. So in this case, let's see, I already have a file attached over here. Let's see what that is. If I click on it, that file is going to open over here in Studio Suite. So I had attached a work order. This could be any document you want. And we also have reports right here. So if we want to look at audio setup or just which plugins I'm using, which film or video graphics, I can do that. Here it is. But we're talking about keeping profitable and having a good feel and control over what you're spending, what resources you're using, which resources are you using the most, who's making the most money for your organization. So for that, I always like to show how you can get a larger variety of reports. So for that, we're going to go to events. And right here, we have reports. We're going to choose our company. And I'll give you an example with summary by item. So let's say that I'm looking at our rooms and I want to find out how much have I been using these rooms in particular from year to date. So we select the Studio A. And here this looks like we've used Studio 8 for a TV ad, for a post-production project, and each of those sessions have been 8-hour long sessions. We can see how much we've billed, our expense, and our profit and loss. So that's another way to get some financial information. And you can also get it for a project or a production. So speaking of productions, when you are working with projects, that's always another good thing to know in Studio Suite. So here we are, productions. Think of a production in Studio Suite as a container. So a production is a big bowl or container where you can store projects. So it helps you organize large projects. So following through with this Ozark example that I was giving you, let's say that we have the new series coming out, series 4, or whichever series you can think of, right? If we click on it, we can see here the episodes. So the container would be productions. This is Ozark series number 4, and the projects could be the episodes. So here they are. We talked about templates earlier, so that's really useful in this case. Let's say that I want to create episode number 4, and I don't want to bring in all of the line items. So I can just create it from a template. So I'm going to say from template, I have Ozark episode 1 as my template. Perfect. Right here, we're going to change the name. So this is going to be episode 4. So SudoSuite is doing all the calculations right now, getting that project ready for us. And it's telling us that we have 2 items for catering, so there's a conflict there. So in this case, it might not be a big deal, but pretty useful, just in case you double booked somebody or you double booked a room or any resource. It's always important to get these notifications. All right, so here it is, our episode number 4. If you notice, I didn't have to dial in all of these line items. They were already established as a preset. Here we have our catering line item that's conflicting. We know that there's a conflict right here because we have this X. So it's telling us that on project 1016, this line item is already being used. But in this case, we would probably just ignore that because we could be getting catering from different companies, and it doesn't really matter if we have a bunch of catering for different projects on a particular day. But it's cool that it's given us this notification right here. All right, so let's say that I make a few changes to this template right here, and I add a few more people. So you can filter through these categories when you're adding people or resources. So maybe I need to add a new editor. Let's go to today. There we go. Okay, so here we go. We have Eddie Smith. And now we want to make this a template. So to do that, it's super easy. We go to the top ribbon, we go to settings, and we click on template. And there we go. Now this Ozark episode number 4 is going to be stored as a template. So anytime I use it, it's going to bring all of these line items with it. So we are in projects. Let's go back to the productions module and look at our Ozark example. So now you see it. We have episode 1, episode 2, episode 3, and episode 4. And they all have different statuses. So we can change these manually. So this was in progress, and maybe, oh, here it is. And maybe now it's complete. So let's change it to that. And if we want complete to have a different color, we can always change the colors from here. So that's pretty simple. All right, so we are getting close to 40 minutes right now. Let me see if we have any questions, and then if not, we'll go ahead and wrap it up pretty soon. All right, looks like I don't see any questions right now. So I'm just gonna give a quick summary of a couple of things that we went over today. So today we looked, we didn't look at the calendar, but the calendar is another great way for you to manage your projects and make sure that you're staying within budget and that you have everybody you need for your project. So we have some presets over here that I've created. You can create your own presets so you can display the information that you want to see. In this case, we're showing our production crew. So from here, we can see the resources and we can see employees as well. So let's say that I want to add maybe Frank to the project to that Ozark episode number 4. So we go book project, add to existing, And now we can choose that episode number 4. Here it is, Ozark, episode number 4. Frank M, here it is. If we hover over this event, we can see the client name, the production number, the project number, and the project name, of course, the producer, and everybody else who's involved. Anything that we do over here in the calendar is going to get reflected back in your projects module. So here is Frank, who we just added to our Ozark episode number 4 example. All right, so let's go ahead and wrap it up. Today we've showed this view selector right here where you can see different statuses for projects. If you click on any of them, it's going to take you to that project. Once you're in the projects module, you can edit your line items. You can add items really easy from here. You can filter through different categories. So equipment, maybe I'm just looking for cameras. There we go. You can type in individual names of a piece of gear or a person or a room that you're looking for and look for it and book it that way too. We saw how to take a look and compare between budget, actuals. We also took a look at how to analyze and take a look at our profit and loss, how to establish a job target to make sure that we're not going over our target. And we also covered some of the different tools that we have associated with this projects module. So a lot of these things that I showed you might be applicable to you or might not be applicable, but they're just optional there. And it's got everything you need pretty much to stay organized in the projects. You keep track of your media assets, your client info, call sheets, talent, tasks, all in one simple module, projects module. So, all right, my friends, I hope that you have enjoyed this quick webinar right here, showing you a little bit more about how we manage projects in Studio Suite. And if you have any questions, or if you would like to get in touch with us or get a free one-on-one demo, you can always send us an email at sales@studiosuite.com. You can also dial our number. It's 800-450-5740. And we also have a free trial, 30-day trial on our website that you can go and check out and sign up for. It's really simple, so I'll just show you how to do that, and then we will be done. So here's our website. From our website, once you go to studiosuite.com, there's this little button over here, free trial. So if you click on it, you can just tell us who you are. There's a little bit of info on who you are so we can know more about you. Click on submit, and then this is going to give you the links for your trial of Studio Suite. And your trial is a fully featured trial. Once you get your trial, you can book a session with us so we can show you how to navigate your demo and give you a little bit more info. So we're always happy to do that. All right, my friends. So the next one that we're doing next Wednesday is how to stay ahead of tasks and improve productivity. Like I was saying earlier, you can visit our website and give us a ring or shoot us an email if you want to get in touch with us and learn a little bit more about Studio Suite, or if you need any help on how to navigate your copy of Studio Suite. So thank you all very much. Stay safe out there, and I hope to see you next time.